Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda here of Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to a 2v2 on Elst Outskirts. In the north it is Fire&Terror and Julius fighting for the German army, Deutschland. Here with the 2nd Panzer Division here with fortified armor, Spearhead, Blitzkrieg, Overwatch, Special Operations, and Feuersturm. In the south is Looney and Coh2 fighting here for America, Freedom, Democracy, and the 5th Armored Division here with airborne, heavy cavalry, armor, urban assault, more heavy cavalry and infantry. And we got Fire&Terror. The first commander is Feuersturm with the Flammheads, so MP40s, well, also Flammenwerfers. Some ammunitions, the Blitz, and the Rocket Barrage. And as always, a big-hearted thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and support, the Propagandacast would not be possible, so a big thanks to those. Also, a very big thanks to Andrew for donating and supporting the Propagandacast with his money, so big thanks to Andrew. Other people can join the heroic examples by either pledging by Patreon or donating by PayPal. Links are in the video description. You can also pre-order company's fee. You can doing that by the link in the comments. Use the code Coh2 in which case you get a 15% cut of the sale there. And you can comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button to feed the YouTube algorithm. So, okay, infantry with rifle defensive structures, mortar half-tracks, light machine guns, time and targeted barrages, and the priest. Looney here with armor featuring assault engineers, elite vehicle cruise upgrades, M10 Wolverines, the 105mm bulldozer Sherman, and 240mm howitzer barrages. Well, there's quite a selection of commanders here so far already. True rifle for Looney, double rifle there for Coh2, nothing else so far. Julius there with grenades and sniper, and double Sturmpioneer for Fire&Terror. Well, this is definitely going places. Pioneer here spotting the rest by these on sides. The snipers busy grabbing the fuel point there. That's definitely a bit atypical. Meanwhile, Coh2 here drives straight for the fuel cut-off point there, avoiding Julius's main force, which is already pretty scattered there. Digging in there as well. We got a 3rd Rifle Squad on the info on the way for Coh2 as well. In the south here, Fire&Terror being caught here with the Rifle Squad, suffering a minor loss. More Fultons on the way for him. A lot of action here. Now, in this case, he's using the full destroy fire line, the Sturmpioneer, and perhaps a chance to close in. We also got a lot of wire here to make it harder for the Germ to get towards here for that retreat from him. Up here, by the carve point, Julius rushes in. He needs to snipe up to help bleed out Coh2's GIs. And the south of the Sturmpioneer now being subjected to volley fire, but that means also them all exposed to fire in return. So they could get focused down now. The Rifle Squad charging the Sturmpioneer. That definitely feels like a really risky maneuver here by Looney. And the cover just basically shatters under the sheer amount of firepower being deployed there. You don't see that very often like that. But here we are. Just so many assault rifles, so much volley fire, so many bullets, and the wood breaks. Of course, there's still some cover there, but still, it's just amusing to watch. Up here, we got the Rifle Squad still finding a car pot snub there with 1 kill so far. An impressive kill tally. Northern Fuel being grabbed here. Meanwhile, as Coh2 has managed to successfully draw away Jules towards the car pot in the south, Looney has been sent packing there, flying towards his base. Back here, no tech yet for Julius. Oh, spoke too soon. And a truck there for Fire&Terror. He could, for example, already now consider adding flamethrowers here to a Sturmpioneer. He's also racing straight for the carve point here, keeping up with the offensive and the current successes here for Deutschland. In the north here, Coh2 being slowly pushed back, but the fuel point there is secured for America, Freedom, Democracy. The little children. Captain out there for Looney with a BAR on the way there, and we got the Lieutenant here for Coh2, Freedom and Democracy. Grab the carve point here, full screen straight up to the base. Cut off here. Swift maneuver here by Fire&Terror. We've got Rifle Squad here from Looney looking to put a stop to that. Got the carve point there hit. Northern Fuel Graphic Relation still running around there. Coh2 still on the prowl for trouble. Tech done. Bunker up there. Truck moving about here. Could be got mechanized here for Fire&Terror. We're relying on the Blitz then for the medical stuff. Rifle Squad moving forwards there. Grabbing some point here. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting match. You can just Julius pick a commander. Like to mechanized company there on the way. Rifle Squad advancing rapidly for Looney. He's got the captain, of course, wielding his BAR menacingly. North Rifle Squad turning forwards. Ambulance fire. Looney. Obviously it falls next here. Sniper needs to be careful here. Rifle Squad Lieutenant charging against the gun of the DC. No machine guns here at all for Julius. Guessing he's playing an armoured car here, or perhaps a flamethrower half-track. I mean, that could really burn through a lot of Cheese and Katz's stuff rapidly. Sniper forced to shoot as well here. His false composition is definitely strong to like maintain the map control here, and is particularly vulnerable to just like getting, you know, swarmed by Cheese and Katz in the American South here. Fire&Terror has also fallen back here in the face of Looney's infantry assault. It's a lot of back and forth, but so far the Americans, I feel like, are coming ahead in a lot of these engagements. Armoured car on the way there, mines being laid down there rapidly. Thumbs up, very smart there. Also very uncomfortable running into the Germans, obviously. Bunker done, but not upgraded. Bit short munitions as they went to light machine guns. Fire&Terror, they're upgrading both Sturmpionier with flamethrowers. That is definitely a lot of firepower. Ha ha ha. Bring in a lot of machine guns, no, nothing else there. Double flamethrowers plus a lot of assault rifles is definitely bad news for American infantry. And the captain, in fact, almost gets incinerated on the spot. With few survivors there left in the wake of Fire&Terror's, well, fire assault. Definitely, I guess, living up to his old name. Armor coming forwards there. Grenadiers or sniper pilots moving forwards this long way there at the men. No minesweeper. See, he is completely oblivious to the potential hazards that could blow the feet of his sniper. Or the wheels of his armoured car. More likely, though, the transmission. But why here in the south, looking to try and block both sides. So the thing is, if you block off both sides like that, it's like the barbed wire doesn't exist. Most players will then do just like lay up a stray of one and then lay up the small triangular trap on the other end. But again, if you just try to block both entrances with barbed wire like that, they just cancel each other out. Go figure. It's like one of those oddities of the engine. Got Rafts moving forwards here for Looney. Straight to an MD-34 on the carve point. We have the half-track here and no anti-tank weapons here. I'm guessing we're looking at an attempt at the Puma maybe here. We also got MP40s on the Feuersturm. Up north here, pushing forward the Grenadiers here. Ralph Squad turning about here, looking to defend the northern fuel point. Normally it's the southern fuel point that says east or south play, east play held, north play held, but in a rare display it's actually the reverse here. Half-track representing machine gun here. Coming up with a Panzerfaust, quick surprise here. Looney's anti-aircraft half-track a bit. Can't soon go for the Puma. He has the fuel now. He has the manpower. He just needs the button power to press the button. Just being mad here. He refused to retreat the machine gun. And Looney's assault here runs into the issue because it was very clearly contingent on the machine getting out of there. And they're like, everyone's like, but sir, the German machine gun isn't retreating. Just keep pushing. We'll make it retreat. It's like, they're still not retreating. We're dying out here. Wow, shit. Sturmpion caught the Rafgold and the captain then need to retreat them on this. It really is primed for the concussor grenade, but I think it's a bit late to the party there. Plus, there's a steward rushing in there. Puma is halfway done here. Up north, Julius grabbing point. See his armored cars up, plus a pack 40 now. 4 grenadiers. Julius Bauer is still the only player without a commander here. And we got the old blitz there for Fire&Terror to provide healing for his men, though he could also use it to motorize his troops. North here, point being seized with the grenadiers here. And fun fact, most German Panzer Grenadiers in a German Panzer Division would have been motorized in trucks. Maybe cars if they couldn't get trucks. And of course, occasionally, they'd be riding on bicycles as the war went on. Don't see that in the movies, now do you? Bicycle, bicycle, I like to ride my bicycle. Shut it, Jürgen! We don't want to get into issues with the copyright, guys. Yeah. I never get to sing on my bicycle anymore. Puny moving around in the north here. Stewart rushing 14, getting Grenadiers here. Moving up, there's a Panzerfaust here, ready to get pushed back, it seems, as Cheese and Katz's strikes for freedom and Mox here with a full throng of bar-wielding riflemen. Wishing there were an action and a bars rather than wielding a BAR. Grenadiers pushed back here. Trying to flank the Pioneers, get absolutely exterminated here by Cheese and Katz's most merciless lieutenant. Might as well be Lieutenant Spears. Pack 4 moving up, his sniper lining up for a shot as well. The lack of machine gun I really feel like is hurting Julius at this point. Like typically most players of the Wehrmacht, if they skip an MD42 at the start, they will still typically at some point go for the MD42. Because at some point it's still really handy. So, bit of an observation there. Bit of an observation. I definitely feel like he could benefit from that. But anyways, machine gun there cleared out, but could be crewed easily by Fire&Terror in the south of the fuel point. is about to fall back into the hands of the Germans. The Puma there with an armoured damaged engine being repaired by the Sturmpioneer. Mortar staying up here for Looney. Good addition of the mortar, plus an anti-tank gun. And far up north here, pushing straight into the base here, only to be routed by the gunner DSC, almost swapping out one squad, and a northern fuel point now falling to the lieutenant. This is definitely a spicy match.
The capture point is being overrun.
Ralph squad falling back. Close to the Estlands, Puma moving in again. Half Texas presents the Feuersturm. Academy for that halfway done for Fire and Terror. Far up north, you've got the Stuart as the gunner DC. Ambulance there, or Open Blitz basically acting as an ambulance. In the south here, Puma being covered by the troops. Their mortar could theoretically be cleared up, but Looney, of course, is ahead of the curve and starts pulling it back already. Sharp play there. Would have certainly been a bit of a shame for him to hand over the mortar to the Germans, so I'm sure Fire and Terror would have appreciated the gesture. Fuel cache here for Chiefs and Cats to provide them both with more fuel to pull ahead for armor faster. Not be surprised if at least one of them is pushing for the Major. The Major attempted armor, but so far it would appear neither is. North here, fresh push by Julius, just massive Gren light machine gun blob there. Not particularly sophisticated. There you go, caught with the 5th cal here. That's it. Light cards finding enough cover there to not be suppressed immediately, and the 5th card's active force back here. Bit of a shame there tactically, but oh well. In the south here, we got the Sturm being pushed off. Interesting enough, he hasn't tried to like clear out the barbed wire, but just, you know, running the Puma over it, forcing a more long retreat path at this point. Definitely think something, you know, that should be considered just dealing with the barbed wire. North here, Pat engaging the Stuart light tank. Tech down there for Julius, very good. Still in commander, Fire and Terror there. No tech yet for him either. It does like Ken have to back up this Puma. Seeing the Stuart, gonna use the pretty low in health in some cases. In the south here, half tech knocked out. Good kill here for Fire and Terror. Smoke being deployed, he pushes back the machine gun. Pretty hectic here, and there we go, another flank here by Chiefs and Cats. Once more, Marine Julius here. Very smartly there. Thumbs up to Chiefs and Cats. Almost lost the suit to the Pack 40, but fortune smiles upon Chiefs and Cats here like a toothless drunk. Ralph's got moving 40, sniper push back here. Grab the southern points. The eastern points, really. But no Sapoma core yet. Nothing out there yet for Fire and Terror. Feel there's definitely much more in the American advantage, but they've yet to push up for armor themselves, so... Ooh, what is this? Actual assault engineers. Also a pretty late assault engineer inclusion here for Looney. That is an interesting decision there. Wonder what the argument for that is. I'm not saying it's a bad choice, and apparently it appears to be to replace the captain, but... Like, most players don't bother with the assault engineers, and they certainly wouldn't go for them, like, at this stage of the fight there, so I'm definitely quite interested to see, or interested, not interested, but interested to see how that actually works out for Looney. It's definitely not conventional, but I suppose part of it's just, you know, seeing all these Sturmpioneer with their flamethrowers, you know, kind of running ram shot all over him. That's kind of making him think, you know what? I want my flamethrower guys out against the Germans. But sir, don't you sir me. I want to burn some krauts. Soldier has been caught with the Sturmpioneer. Catching the raft caught with the double Sturmpioneer. Concussor grenades there. Darks, but that pushing the fence with the assault rifle that could get the assault engineers pretty wiped here. In fact, oh yeah. We even got Destiny 4 Sturmpioneer. I mean, that's a thing worth keeping in mind, but Sturmpioneer with a flamethrower gain a significant damage boost, which really also helps them get to the higher levels of efficiency faster, which of course also means they'll just become a lot better. So, thumbs up to Fire and Terror for displaying the power of the Sturmpioneer. Good shot from the Puma there, right into the Stuart there, causing quite a bit of damage there to the light tank. Sniper there with 15 kills, slowly approaching Destiny 2. Sapoma core up here for Julius. Guessing on Panda 4. Certainly be the most sensible choice under current circumstances. American players are finally pushing for some major C and a major upgrade in the capacity of our arsenals. Go almost down there for Looney as well. Also pushing 40 of the MP40s. Ripping through the Yankees. Unless, of course, they get ripped through themselves by the BRs. And the mortar fire. Northern Fuel grabbed back here by Julius up north. Chase and Cutter forced to concede to the Germans for now. We got the student moving up there to try and at least make it a bit tougher there for Julius. In the centre, troops we've got Mine there from Fire&Terror. In the south, Looney, though, is looking to grab back the fuel point there from Fire&Terror. Still hasn't done anything about all that barbed wire, though. Stood racing forward here, but there you go. Cheese and Cutter may just have tactically made a bit of a blunder there, allowing the Germans to pursue, though, of course, it could be to catch the Pack 40 off guard, but he probably wasn't expecting the Puma. There you go. Got the shell shock ability, but runs into a Grenadier squad with a Panther Faust. Panther's about to get wiped out, and he's going to lose this to it in the end. And so, if he doesn't, like, get the Pack 40 here and loses to it, that's obviously not going to be worth it then for Cheese and Cutter. Like, even he does do some damage here to Julius, though. He does want to spend a lot more Grenadiers trying to grab that up, so I don't know. Might be sort of worth it. Snamming up here. We'll probably need instant explosive around here to make it difficult to grab it. There we go. Grabs it. In which case, if he can get away with a Pack 40, it does sort of become more worth it here for Cheese and Cutter. They're still fairly expensive. Germans have seen another defeat here and a pushback across the entire front line. Panther 4 now on the way for Julius. Fire&Terror, they're just flooding resources, but he does have the Schwerer punch at quarters up here. Lovely to go for. He could surprise us like with a Flammhead, sir. That'd definitely be a bit of a surprise, wouldn't it? Particularly for the guys on the receiving end of it. Lots of bars here as well from Looney. Cheese and Cutter and Looney can soon both go for Sherms themselves. Of course, Looney might have other plans. We'll have to see. Big push here by Fire&Terror. Grenades off. Bit of a manpower float there, but no orbital dart, no support weapons besides what he's already got there. Makes you wonder what he's up to. Accidentally hunt down by the Fulton, he's ignoring the captain. Pretty ballsy there by Fire&Terror. North here, the Julius strikes back here. Cheese and Cutter. Ralph Squad being caught, actually pushed off the fuel point. Nice save there by Julius. Sherman away there for Cheese and Cutter. As for Looney, we get the Bulldozer Sherman. Sturm penetrates the rear echelons. Machine putting for the southern fuel point again. Still hasn't bothered with a bar of wire at all. Panther 4 sitting out there. Go, adding the Penland 5th Kelter as well. Thumbs up. Sturmpionier out it. Booming forwards. He does go for the Flammheads here. A bold choice there by Fire&Terror. Good shot there from the entertainer right through the Puma's frontal armor. Flammheads up 1/3 of the way down. Last squad there, and Lieutenant flanked by the Panther for a few shots in the south here. MD Fed 4 needs to treat in the face of the Bulldozer Sherman before they get utterly obliterated. And again, we sort of see here Fire&Terror, I think, being somewhat bitten in the arse by his refusal to just clear that damn barbed wire. In this case, ultimately handing Looney a free MD-34. So, I mean, this barbed wire has really paid off big dividends for Looney at this point. It's just not something you'd consider a lot there, but clearly Looney did. Up north here, we got the Sherman spearing assault here for Cheese and Cutter against Julius's flank. His plans for hold back for repairs. Boom booming back for repairs as well, and we got the Flammheads running forwards here. Fun fact about the Flammheads and the Heads by extension, they had 60mm of very sloped armor, which effectively gave them roughly the same frontal armor effectiveness as that of a Panther. On the other hand, they really didn't have any side armor. They basically had the same side armor as a 251 half-track. So they could stop bullets and that's it. Fun fact there, by the way. Very fun fact. But Kenmave on the way there for Fire&Terror. And going for a pretty aggressive flank with a Flammhead too, adding the pinlock machine gun there to it as well. machine gun drop, grab the lieutenant. That's obviously a pretty good haul there for Coh2, going for the enemy fed for the Flamheadser. Scattered up north here, things are going a bit more rougher there for Fire&Terror. Grenades off, mortar there, wiped. Ralph's got to think also bit the dust there. Perhaps not. And Julius here finally commits to commander. It is Spearhead. Probably the most conventional out of all the 4 commander choices. Certainly the most boring by extension, but... Well, Infantry, I suppose, is also somewhat conventional, but not quite as conventional as Spearhead. Fragmentation bomb there, go full wipe here. The Flamheadser combined with some other units that definitely hurt Looney. Aircraft, though, shot out of the skies, went for the fragmentation bomb. Perhaps not. Oh, it got a unit. He actually wiped both anti-tank guns. Both secured there for Julius. From Julius, that's a bit awkward. Ralph's got the Sturm Puny and the Flamheads are both unleashing a torrent of fire. Bazooka team are trying to catch the Flamheads, but they definitely did not manage to make that work out. Julius has been completely routed here from the north. Now the Panther November reactions are being burned up. Sturm Puny pushing ahead here. Sherman, though, on the spot there, about to get a wipe on the Sturm Puny there. Smoke pop, which may just help them out. Flamheads are there. Oh, and the Puma is now abandoned. Now, that's an extra awkward development there for Fire&Terror. Extra awkward. Definitely looking a bit rough here for the Germans against the Americans as at this moment. Particularly Julius does appear to be a bit of a weak spot. There we go. Crew at the packs. In fact, just moved up the ambulance to make reinforced on the front and heal them up. Thumbs up there to Coh2. Sherman does take some hits here. Julius, I think, needs to be more careful with the anti-tank guns going forwards. Definitely shouldn't be handing out like a 3rd pack 40 there to Coh2. Puma there can be fixed up at least. That's a small one there for Fire&Terror. I believe the Schwerer Panzer Quarters is also finally authorized. He may want to consider some Obersoldaten. Small side note there. And from north it's here, looking to catch any Americans there. Overall, tactically, I think sound maneuver there by Julius. Though, of course, may want to keep some troops nearby to then actually like take advantage of it. Sherman's being fixed up. Feuersturm moving ahead here. Folticals are moving forwards. Puma is steadily getting ready here for Fire&Terror. And a machine gun finally happening there for Julius. Also, finding the wire has sort of been dealt with, though, I think, more by Looney than by Fire&Terror's hands there. Almost got the Feuersturm there. Triple Academy though. That definitely feels like a fairly aggressive extension into anti-tank weapons. Obviously, very powerful in some respects, but also has some risks. North here, the 2 Panther Force advances. And another bit of area cons, but as long as the anti-aircraft tactic is about, which I don't think it is anymore, actually, maybe. They can be shut down pretty quickly. Pushed off the southern field point, went there for the Germans. Once more up north here, Julius somewhat routing here. Coh2, but there's still the double anti-tanks to be very concerned about. Aircraft knocked out of the skies. M10 there waiting the time to go. Mines down here. Certainly triple Academy plus a bunch of mines will make it tougher here for Looney to use his M10 aggressively. Of course, the DC. Panther Force also at the ready. As Coh2 slowly moves ahead from the assault. Ultra bar wait. Fire&Terror did actually get that mortar in the end. Thumbs up. Sniper does have a bit of a light artillery to support his troops. Rafting on the Ralph squad doing a bit of damage. We'll have to see what Fire&Terror is planning next here though. What could he be scheming? Panther 4, Jagdpanzer, Panther. Knows. Also there, low in health. Probably wants to retreat those soon. Flamheads are going for the midfield for Kevin lands a good hit on the Sherman. But we got double antennas but boosting things up. The Flamheadser narrowly avoids getting destroyed here. Really close call there for Fire&Terror's Flamheadser. 4 kills, close 32. Obersoldaten finally on the way to replace some of his losses. Up north, Julius and Coh2 in a pretty deep fight. He's actually moving up in his own mines. That could potentially open up some opportunity for Julius to accidentally wipe some of these anti-tank guns or even deal some heavy damage to some of the other stuff here. Didn't, but actually managed to clear up at least one anti-tank gun. Tries to destroy them, but fortunately smiles upon Coh2 once more. And he's actually able to get the anti-tank out of there. That's got to be a bit of a feels bad moments there for Julius. In the south here, though, folks are about to get wiped out. Big push by Looney as Fire&Terror's southern front line here crumbles away like a cake at the beach. In December. So, Pioneers on there for Julius. Tier 4 done there. As for Fire&Terror, could go for the Panther 4 soon, but he may also, of course, at this point, be thinking about just, you know, going for a Panther, and some are hoping that will magically turn the tide for him. I don't know, we'll have to see. North here, Panther 4 there, waiting repairs. Julius has managed to keep his tanks alive, which is fairly impressive. He's also got his machine gun there still in one piece. Puma being fixed up again. Flumheads are there, close to Vector 2 with 5 kills. Overall, Flumheads are actually made in very small numbers, primarily active for like supporting Operation Nordwind and clearing up American-held bunkers in the Maginot Line. Fun side note there. North moving forwards again, and we got another Bullet Sherman out for Looney. I guess if you're really into Bullet Shermans, this is an episode for you. Panther pursuing the Sherman, almost got it. Damn its engine, but not able to finish it off again. Last going on to the Flamheads. Flamheads are taking a few hits from the anti-tank, which will continue to be a significant issue. But he does have the mortar. He's not quite leveraging its barrages or its smoke. At least here, definitely I think something that Fire&Terror, of course, may, if possible, want to try and incorporate into his, like, attack tactics. As, you know, well-placed smoke barrage, regular barrage, I think could make it easier for Fire&Terror to launch attacks here against Looney here in the south. Flamheads by his Vector 2 now. Very nice there. And he does go for the Panther here. A believer in the Panzerkampfwagen 5 when the anti-tanks are about to wreck his Flamheads. So if not for a good bit of luck there. Good golly. Well, then I suppose the small size of the Flamheads, which does make it hard to target. Which was certainly one of the Hetz's major advantages, was its very small profile. We've seen them in trouble here with the Bullet Sherman. Almost got it. Chocolate Cave members are still unable to finish off. Rocket Strike here being unleashed against the MU-34. Fire&Terror wants it dead and out of his sight. There we go. Machine almost right, but the Stukas was barrage, but it didn't quite manage it. Like everything pushed back here. Flamheads are disengaging. Further up north here, Julius being assailed here by Chiefs and Cuts as he strikes for freedom and democracy. A Scot spearing the assault here. Rather chaotic up north here between Julius and Chiefs and Cuts. Gunnery is trying to cover the flank of the Panther Force, not quite got. Pioneer standing about, Pax blasting. And there's no sign of the MU-42. It's all the way back at the base alongside the Sniper. And the Pax are pushing up as well here. Rather chaotic stuff there. The Panther has arrived here for Fire&Terror and the German army. And the Kevin is destroyed. Puma driving in there, but the anti-tanks continue to be a massive threat here to Fire&Terror's forces. We got 297 to 325. Panther 4 there popping smoke and nearly escaping getting destroyed here by Chiefs and Katz's German applied anti-tank guns. South here, Panthers moving in here. Bazooka team being ripped apart out in the open. Puma there, running a bit of support here. Exposing the rear of the Panther Bazooka team seems like a spectacularly bad idea here. Even the machine gun is able to shoot at them fairly easily due to the negative cover there. He's, I think, actually a very high likelihood of losing the Panther here, which... losing it to bazookas like this, whew, somehow he actually got the wipe. I imagine largely due to the negative cover there. Goes for the Sherman here. He is fearless. And didn't lose the Panther though, at least. Good God. At least he does have a lot of Sturmpionier, plus the repair Pioneers on the mechanized regiment to quickly get his Panther fixed up. Somehow he didn't lose the Panther. That is kind of bananas. Antonio Crude here. Pushing back here, Looney Sherman. He's still pushing this Panther. I got him, Hemo. Wrecking the entertainer, I think, is a smart move. Flamheads of this half fate of SNU3. Up north of Julius and Chiefs and Carter continue their titanic struggle here. Casualties keep piling up here mercilessly between these two combatants. Hunts of here for Julius. No Tiger tanks anytime soon for him. Just more, well, some rocket artillery here. But honestly, apart from just going for a bunch of mortar half tanks out of that, I think that'd do him a lot more good. But oh well, and he's been caught up with the Shermans and of course the Scots. Definitely risky for Julius to keep bunching up his infantry. There's so much now from Chiefs and Catter's arsenal, they can just punish him harshly. From the southern victory point, southern field point, sitting out there. Panzer of Julius. Back shooting. And Sherman's getting ready again here for another push for Looney. Freedom and democracy. That's it. Looney's forces are definitely a bit tattered out here. So, I mean, if Fire&Terror were to launch a really good assault against Looney, could possibly break him and then turn on Chiefs and Carter. So, in some regards, the Americans are definitely a bit in the balance here, depending on the next set of moves in the south. This could very well be what decides this entire battle is what happens in the south here in the next, I don't know, several minutes. Next 10 minutes, perhaps. Oh, wait, Panther being fixed up here. Bullchum's looking forward here, wrecking it for Fire&Terror's forces. Flumheads is being rushed in, though clearly not entirely sure why. And since supplying support, Heads draws the way of the line. The Panther may get shot, and the Bull's shown, but it's already disengaging here. Flumheads is going here for the anti-tank gun, burning through machine guns, also letting loose a stream of death there. No support, though, in terms of infantry for the Panther or the Flumheads. Definitely risk here that he overcommits against Looney, at which point, again, things could go very sideways very quickly. Flumheads is very close to actually flee. Just reinforcing, setting out in some cases here. Chiefs and Cutters still not quite managed to push into Julius's held territories there for now. Sturm Pioneer moving in. Again, 2 Sturm Pioneer squads can definitely help getting stuff fixed up fast alongside the repair pioneers. And he definitely needs his stuff repaired fast. 50 go there right about the grenadiers. No mercy there for Julius's forces. Tactically, I think Chiefs and Cuts needs to look around to swing around Julius's front line or attacking from another angle and swing into assist his team in the south here. So far he seems rather content at just launching these head-on attacks into Julius, who admittedly isn't trying to do much differently either. Orbital around here with the Bulldozer Shermans, machine guns, mortars, anti-tank guns, infantry being brought up to the front line here to launch an assault on Looney. Perhaps in the centre, we do get a bit of diversion here from Chiefs and Cuts. It's down to perhaps not swing headed, but there you go. In fact, leads for the anti-tanks in the MG42 here. That could actually theoretically cost them the anti-tank guns, but in this case the Scot arrives, plus a bit of otherwise light there, and the machine gun does get wiped instead. Julius clearly was not ready for that. The Panzer is ready to unleash another barrage here against Chiefs and Cuts. It could perhaps inflict some heavy losses, we'll have to see. And there you go. The rockets fly all over the place. Kind of clears out one of the pack crews, but that's about it. Totaling out 1 kill. Flamhead's about to get knocked out finally. Veteran fee though gained, but in the end the Flamheads goes up in flames here. Sherman getting 83. Panther getting 82. They're outmaneuvering here. The anti-tank gun clearing out one of the machine guns. Could take out one of the Bulldozer Shermans. But 2 vehicles down here, and there you go. Sherman down. Now the M10 on the way here. Panther is taking a lot of damage. Probably should actually prioritize the anti-tank gun over the Sherman, because the Sherman can't really hurt the Panther as much as the anti-tank gun can. No aim for support here, but there's slowly some Sturm Pioneer arriving. Did get the anti-tank gun, but didn't destroy it, and hasn't been able to deal with the other Sherman. Still, that's, I guess, sort of alright. Up north, Julius is getting his nose absolutely punched in violently here by Chiefs and Cuts. Panther escapes once more. And I think Julius is actually still saving up now for a Tiger tank, but he got completely wrecked here for Chiefs and Cuts. So he's going to have to really bet this Tiger tank turns around for him. Wrecking the anti-tank and enabling his own Pilfered anti-tank gun, and of course the Panther. Machine recruit here, at least hold off. Actually destroyed the other anti-tank gun as well, which I imagine he's going to do there. Truck on the weather front. I guess he's gonna try and go for a King Tiger now. I don't know. I think he might be better off just going for more Panthers at this stage rather than trying to go for the King Tiger. I guess the King Tiger's just gonna be so much further off, and he just needs more pressure now, particularly now that Julius Has to take a bit of beating, though, of course, he does have a Tiger tank ready here from nearby 600 seconds? 500 seconds to punt up telling. Anyways, Scott's falling back here. Jackson sitting out there. Running something a bit bigger than M10, but Looney is again like really in tatters. Like one good push from Fire&Terror could really just crush him entirely. Julius targeting around the center, bombarding here. Chiefs and cuts his infantry. Got 258 versus 218. Panther's almost good to go, but certainly something like going for the King Tiger could actually give Looney some time to recover. So that's like I think also another reason like a bit more wary about going for King Tiger in these circumstances. Like even like he does have a fair amount of resources, he'll have to put even more resources out around the points of the battlefield now, which again means there is less pressure that is hitting the Americans, in particular Looney. Did lose the opposite squad here, that's a great kill there for Looney, removed some pressure there from his forces. Julius heavily focused on the center, northern viewpoint there, claimed by Chiefs and Cuts and the Americans. That was just more Panther force, would obviously also just be a central choice, just anything but trying to stall for a King Tiger, honestly, would be my recommendation. I mean, not to say the King Tiger couldn't do it at all, but you know, I just think he'd benefit a bit more from something else. In particular, like the way the balance of the fight right now is. Like again, he wants like something bigger than a Panther, or he could just go for another Panther, and I think he could make it work. Anyway, so up north here, on the center there, Ralph's got being pushed back, Panther 4 there, slowly approaching the east level. Another anti-tank there for Julius, no machine guns. Chiefs and Cutter sees another anti-tank gun, does appear he did not. That's something at least. So we got 236, 218, pretty close then in terms of victory points between the two sides. Titan getting the score there. Panther being fixed up. Tiger advancing, shoots and whiffs. Scott's bombarding, blasting away there, deploying thick screens of smoke. Tiger shoots. Panther approaching the east level, north gun is supposed to be the 5th kill there. Quick Ralph grenade. And wiped. Good kill there for Julius. Definitely a blow there to Chiefs and Cutter. The Chiefs and Cutter is, I think, a pretty strong force overall. You can see there Looney moving in to assist Chiefs and Cutter here, giving perhaps room for Looney Fire&Terror to launch an assault, though he's actually and like just his entire force is like just frozen in the sense that as he's waiting for the King Tiger, so Looney's starting to make up for these losses and catch up. And up north here, Julius is in a bit of a hot bit of water against Chiefs and Cutters. Panther does gain the east level, but gets knocked out with the Pax and the Jackson, leaving just really with the TIE tank and the Panzerwerfer. Very close, in fact, he can't go for the King Tiger now. The Königstiger has arrived here. Northern victory point rendered neutral. Anti-tank being Feuersturm there near the ace level. Pretty good there for Chiefs and Cuts, obviously. Titan getting the anti-tank through there. Panzerwerfer's ready to fire again. King Tiger slowed right to the front line there, adding the pin-mounted MD-42. Tiger falling back here. South here, Feuersturm and blasting at the Sturmpioniere. Königstiger still moving ahead to the front line here. North Jackson awaiting. Americans got a pretty decent situation on the map now. King Tiger bouncing a shot there from the Jackson, just missed. Hard to say there at the moment. Panther there slowly approaching their chief fleet, which would definitely be bad news there for the Americans due to its increasing rate of fire and mobility. Sturmpioniere bombarded, almost about to hit the Feuersturm, 26 kills. Another Jackson there for Looney. And our Panzer Barrage here, I think Julius went to assist Fire&Terror. Perhaps identifying right now the best chances for him to support Fire&Terror, and then Fire&Terror somehow launching a breakthrough assault here that breaks Looney in half. But can Fire&Terror get a gun yard. No, Gunny's been caught here, bunched up again, and that's a full wipe here in just 2 squads. Panther again, King Tiger arriving there. Panther very close to the ace level here. Lots of armor bunched up here. Panther almost got veteran free there. King Tiger backing off Panther as well here. As Chiefs and Cuts and Looney consolidates all their armor into one spot. They will need to also consolidate their armor into a proper offensive here. Maybe some rocket strikes as well. We'll have to see instead. They end up backing off here. Gunny's being further blasted. Tiger tank there, close veterans to 1. King Tiger, quite a bit of while to go before veterans run. If Panther is very close to veteran 3. Very close. Meanwhile, Looney with another Jackson here. Bring in more big guns to deal with the big tanks. Sandbags here. Lots of sandbags staying around the center. Another entertaining here for Julius. Scott's been brought up. Tanks and tank stores being repaired. Cameras music to come up the south. There's a mortar still there that could be recruited again. Smoke being deployed to launching an assault center. Thumbs up there to the Americans. King Tiger on the move for Deutschland. Or not. Infantry after your Fire&Terror. That's an interesting pick. King Tiger there bouncing. One shot, but another shot that pierces through the thick frontal armor. Another shot's going through in the south. Several further shots impacting upon the Koenigsee, causing further damage. King Tiger 1 up north being taken hit by the Jackson under Chiefs and Cuts' command with another one on the way for him here. Feel like the longer the Germans sweat, just the more tank destroyers and antennas the Americans will bring to bear. That's going to make it harder for the Germans to get their heavy armor going. So, another Panther for Julius. Alright. I feel like the Germans are basically conceding the match at a very, very slow pace the way they're going about things at the moment. Steadily conceding. Panther moving up here. Infantry half coming up as well here. Tiger being blasted with the Jackson again. And he's instead of being absolutely pummeled into oblivion here by the Scots. Looks like he's going to do something here. Can he manage it? Can he do it? And he's instead of just being thrown to the slaughter there by Julius. Down to just one Grenadier squad with just one guy left. Really looking back for Julius's infantry. Fire&Terror, of course, still has 3 squads of fairly hefty assault troops, but again, seems to have lost a bit of confidence in them. And this is where the more to be nice, you can just deploy smoke and then rush in, I guess, but yeah, I guess the King Tiger's not exactly a big rush in there and get the job done kind of tank. Damn, its engine being slow push back. Here's another Jackson just shooting at an easily targetable King Tiger there. Anthony's being hauled up as well by Chiefs and Carter. Do get a rocket strike here on the packs, pushing them back a bit here. Panther does gain MT3 here. And we got the Stuka barrels going off, but it's hitting Zotol. Anti-tank in there. Gains MT3 there for Fire&Terror using TIG aim. Thumbs up to that. Very good use of the ability there. Tend to get overlooked by a lot of Americans, but it's quite good. Another M10 tanks are now for Looney, it would appear. Anti-tank cleared out. The Tiger tank being repaired. His Panzerwerfers have done some, but not enough to really result in any significant breakthroughs. King Tiger being repaired, getting the Sturm Pioneers to work on that one. Should get it pretty swiftly fixed up. Then we got 214 versus 168. The Germans definitely seem, well, a bit frozen in action. Smoke grenade from the Fulton Grenadiers, thumbs up. But tactically, I think there needs to be a reorganization here, and there needs to be a different approach here against the Americans, because currently they're just throwing everything they got right into like where every American gun is pointing, which is typically known as not the smartest approach, at least in terms of, like, you know, not getting shot immediately terms. Definitely feel like there needs to be, like, attempts to, like, you know, switch through the south or through the north, at least use some smoke. And again, bit the issue with maps like Elst Outskirts, they don't necessarily always offer up, like, these great flanking routes or maneuver routes. Anyways, Tiger tank moving up slowly in the north here. King Tiger moving about as well here. Panther, Sword of Waltz ready to join in. Southeast steady push forwards, there you go, getting flanked here. And no immediate support, there's Fire&Terror's focus is on the center here. North here, machine being light 6 pioneers being bombarded here. And white. Another blow there to Julius. I'm not entirely sure what he's going for, but my instincts are probably telling me a Panther. Got Fire&Terror, Panther rushing in there, 15 kills, going straight to the machine crew here. We got a rocket strike being unleashed somewhere, though. Listen, the 5th kill, I think, there. 16 kills on the Panther, 5th kill there, getting hammered by the rocket strike, utterly annihilated. Stumpini providing some support, King Tiger sending out there. Could catch here, Looney's tank destroyers in a bit of a pinch. King Tiger, they're gaining medicines, 1 thumbs up to that. Meanwhile, up north, Julius is just going nowhere. As he's further losing ground at Jason Katzer, Bullshit rushing forward at the surviving infantry under Fire&Terror's command, easily sweeping them aside. King Tiger there popping, Spearhead mode, thumbs up. We got the Jacksons blasting at the Königstiger. Shots flying off the frontal armor. 200 points left as the Germans 163. Jason Katzer continues to push it into Fire&Terror's exposed flank. He's actually got a lot of manpower floating about there. Could honestly have gone for a bunch of infantry or light infantry guns at this stage. Definitely feels like he lost a bit of sight there of the greater picture. Infrared half-track knocked out here. Now looks like Fire&Terror is being completely torn to shreds here by Jason Katzer. As he exploits here Julius's, well, rather weak force composition. They can't really threaten him at this point. Got the King Tiger with the double Jacksons. Panther gains 24, takes out on the Jacksons. A small win here, but now we got Looney's Jackson beginning to finish off the Panther here under Fire&Terror's command. Sliver of health left there, blitzing away, but can it make it? No, Panther down as well. The Fire&Terror is effectively broken now. And Julius is not much better off with next to infantry, bunch of anti-tank guns, Panzerwerfers, and a Tiger tank. The Germans are completely, at this point, I think, well, done. I mean, they're also seems like they just strategically, operationally, also just kind of frozen. They're like they got plenty of resources, they're just not spending many things. So I think on a mental level, the Germans all just kind of exhausted of this match and just don't have the mental reserves to really do much more anymore. Like, they're just done. They are done. So I think at this point we're just waiting for them to, like, just, you know, call it quits here. Because, like, there's clearly no way in hell they, like, you know, the way they're playing now, which again is just the sign of someone who's coming up there, that they're going to win their game. So it's just a matter of, like, you know, when do they call it quits? And there we go. GG, game over. He lost for the Germans. A victory for America, freedom, and democracy. An absolutely fierce and spectacular fight at times here on this map with some really good back and forth play. But in the end, I feel like Julius definitely made some mistakes sort of repeatedly, made some awkward calls there. Tactically also, I think, ran ground there. And similarly, Fire&Terror, I think, also handled things well, but could use this more to better himself for the Americans, but also tactically and operationally, I think, made some crucial-ish mistakes. And I think in particular, just going for that King Tiger run, just pushing for anything else, and maybe some All-Star in there, I think sort of shows, say, a watershed moment where, like, he had the opportunity, but by going for the King Tiger instead, he missed that moment. We could, I think, just pushed Looney into the dirt and then swung into Jason Katzer and won the game. Instead, he allowed them to recover together. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial LinkedIn. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.